We found a 1977 Ford F250 Custom that's been sitting in this barn for the last 35 years. And what's crazy about this truck, it only had 17,000 miles.
But first, we need to move all this stuff to get it out of here.
But getting it out's gonna be a major issue. But in order to get here, let's go back to the start when we first found the truck.
So we've already seen this truck a few times because, believe it or not, it's on the same exact farm as the Corvettes. They're actually hiding right over there. Somehow, some way, there's just a plethora of really freaking cool cars in great condition that never got driven. This thing is the coolest little truck that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Especially with this off-road outfit that I think that's all factory.
Yeah. So it's an F250 Custom, but it says Explorer all over the truck. And I mean, I know Ford Explorers as the SUV, but this is before that. So that was an option on this truck to be outfitted for off-road. It looks sweet.
That must have been like another
It's the off-road
trim
package. Like how today they do the Ford F250 Tremor Edition. Like this was an edition of this truck.
The amount of dirt and dust on this might be the most as far as like the thickness of dirt and dust. Like this is like a full-blown half-inch of dirt on this car. It's not even dust anymore, it's dirt.
We're gonna mess up the shop pretty bad with this one. Okay, here's the F250 Custom badge. Just absolutely covered. That worked way too nicely. Oh, it stinks, dude.
That's a cool interior though.
Oh, the plaid this is really cool. It smells so bad though, wow. RJ, this truck only has 17,000 miles on it.
I mean, it looks like it. The headliner is mint. The dash is nice.
I love this.
There's no rips in the leather and vinyl.
The painted interior, like the metal, the free exposed metal. It's so cool. Nothing has that nowadays.
This is a really cool truck. Well, once we pull everything out, we'll really see if it has 17,000 miles on it, but yeah, I'm gonna bet that it does.
Man, the only thing is, how are we gonna get this thing out of here?
All right, so I made that face because we have a lot of work to do.
Yep.
So pretty much everything from this barrel over needs to get pulled out of this garage. And these barrels are full of, I think, engine oil. So they probably weigh 600 pounds a piece, somewhere around there.
This is gonna be a task.
And I didn't eat breakfast.
You know, we get a lot of comments of people thinking that we fake some of this stuff. I don't fake any of this stuff, okay? This is a lot of work, and we take, we take a lot of pride in what we do. And sometimes it stinks to have to work so hard for people to think that we're just fakers or we don't do this for real.
If we were gonna fake it, I'd at least put empty drums here.
Yeah.
Instead of full ones, you know? But also, if we were this good at faking this, we'd just work for Hollywood for movie sets and make way more money and probably do less work. So anyway.
Now we have to start getting all this stuff out of the way, which we realized too late that we should probably start bringing respirators along for all this kind of stuff from now on. But to save a truck like this, it's definitely worth moving all of this stuff out of the way, getting the truck out, and then moving it all back for the owner of the vehicle. That way he has somewhere to put it once we're done with it. But I do want to say you guys have loved the last Corvette video we posted so much that we have the next one coming next week, so you do not want to miss that. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel with your post notifications on, because as we post these Corvettes, they only get crazier. But lastly, I want to ask the question of the video, so leave your answers in the comments below. What do you think an original Ford truck like this with 17,000 miles on it, all fixed up and working in running condition, is worth? I've seen many guesses along the board. I know what the owner would want for it if he were to sell it, so I'm curious what you guys think. Dude, you're kicking mud out.
Alright, no more messing around.
Mike, did you notice the pinstripe on the rim that matches the truck?
Dude, that's so cool. Oh, it's red and, is that like a
red
blue?
and white. Is there blue too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's red, white, and blue. Dude, that's cool.
Look at all the dust falling from inside the cracks of a dry rotted tire.
All right, we're going.
Oh, rolling. Well, back's not rolling. Back's not rolling? Front's rolling.
We're losing air pretty quick, but it's going.
Dude, we got it out.
Dude, first time it's seen sunlight in 35 years. Wow. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. What do you think?
Rock, dude.
That's cool.
Wow. I love it, dude.
And now as we started loading the truck up, you guys are about to see something that we couldn't even believe happened with our trailer.
Look at this. That's the wheel on the trailer. This is the other wheel well.
Dude, that is to the inch.
And honestly, thank God we have this door here that we can take that out and make it removable, because once this is in, I can actually get it to fit.
How am I gonna get out?
You gotta ride there for the entire trek back.
Dude, I'm not sitting in here for an hour, dude.
I just want to show everyone what your face looks like after pulling all that out of the barn. Look
Beautiful, isn't it?
your mustache is dark. You're super dirty. Good job, dude.
Thanks,
You
man.
worked hard today.
Thanks.
All right, so somehow we managed to get this into the trailer. It fit by, seriously, maybe an inch on both sides and maybe an inch on top too. So somehow we got it here safely. And now we have our first look of it inside the shop. And obviously first thing that you notice is that we have like a ½ inch of dust that's built up over the last 35 years. I mean, this is gonna look like we're pressure washing mud off this car. The dust is so thick. There's a bit of pitting on the side here. So, you know, it does look a little ratty, but once we clean it up and polish over it, I think it's gonna have a nice patina and I can still make it shine. So it's gonna look cool when it's done.
I think this truck looks ridiculously sweet, and it does have a little bit of damage, which was a funny story from the farmer who owned this truck. Where it was parked in that garage, that tight little corner in the back, a cow actually got next to the truck and couldn't back up and would walk along the side of it and bent this all in with her shoulder, he said. So he had to like try to corral the cow out of here before it did more damage to the truck. So we have a little bit of damage here. We're gonna see if maybe after we get this cleaned up, I can try to repair it. He asked nicely if I could give it an attempt, and I'll try my best. First things first, we need to get these wheels cleaned up. And then right after we're done with that, we gotta clean all this junk out of this bed so we don't get it all wet and make a big old mess. Let's get to it.
So for these wheels, just like any other barn find, these tires are obviously gonna have to get replaced, but we're still gonna do our best job. So we're gonna clean the tires with Puro and the rims with our iron remover. And then just like Mike said, after getting all 4 wheels and wheel wells cleaned, we're gonna move on to the bed. That way it doesn't become a mess for us later on. So our method to clean out this bed will be to degrease it and then pressure wash it all out, then use a soap with a broom to try to agitate it a little bit, and a wash mitt around the outsides, and then pressure wash all that away. And then after the full truck wash off camera, we'll rinse it out one more time. And now before washing anything, we're gonna take this guard off the front of the truck and vacuum out all the jams inside the engine bay. That way it's easier to clean later. Now it's time to pressure wash all the dirt off the truck, and inside of our pump sprayer is a pre-rinse is Puro all-purpose cleaner. If you guys are looking for an all-purpose cleaner, it's down in the description below, but it's gonna loosen all this dirt up off the top of the paint. That way we can pressure wash it away with ease. And if you guys find this satisfying, make sure to like the video. It really helps us out. Now as we pressure wash off this hood, watch what we uncover with the paint. It is so much cooler than we could have expected.
So this F250 came with 2 motors, I believe, in this configuration, either a 351 or a 400. So that's a 6.6 liter gas motor. And this is the 400. This thing's in rough condition. There has been rodents all in here. It stinks. So yeah, this thing's seen better days, but normally RJ's here. Brent, do you know where RJ is?
I've been stranded for the last 2 to 3 hours. But thankfully, this video is sponsored by Protect. Protect is a veteran-owned and operated supplement company that features a battery of rapid absorption liquid supplements to maximize your daily hydration, recovery, and immunity. My personal favorite product from Protect is their hydration supplements. I love that they're liquid, so there's no mess when I put it into my water bottle, and they taste great. I'm also a big fan of their sunblock, because it keeps my bald head from getting burnt and it's not greasy like other sunblocks. Protect's liquid supplements are Navy SEAL formulated and athlete tested to make sure that they have the most effective ingredients in the right portions to help you prepare, perform, and recover on a daily basis. No mixing, no mess, and it tastes great and makes it easy to drink more water throughout the day. Guys, I was stranded out there for the last 2 to 3 hours. I've been calling, no one answered their phones. If I hadn't had Protect for my health, immunity, rest, and energy, I might have been a goner. So if you want to improve your hydration and rest and become the best version of yourself, try out Protect. Get 30% off your order at protect.com/WD detailing. That's protekt.com/WD detailing, or use code WD detailing at checkout. Also, if you subscribe, you'll save another 15% on top of that. Thank you to Protect for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the F250.
RJ, you look hydrated.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
All right, I'm taking this air intake off of this old Ford just because we don't want to destroy this thing. It's already destroyed enough. Nice.
And now we're going to cover the carburetor with a plastic bag. That way we can wash the engine bay and not have to worry about any water getting down into the engine while we do it. There was also a significantly thick layer of grease inside the engine bay, so with a plastic razor, we're going to remove that, and it looks way better afterwards. And lastly, before putting any soap on the Ford, we're going to clean the underbody. But while we're under the truck, I wanted to ask you guys, how do we tell if this is a highboy or not? RJ looked up the VIN of the truck, and it said it was a 1977.5 truck, but couldn't find if it was a highboy or not. Someone online said the drivetrain would be a good indicator. Let us know in the comments if you know. And just to add to the coolness of the truck, we found out while using a brush on the Explorer badge, you can actually turn it around and it's two-sided.
All right, onto the interior. This thing is filthy. There was a lot of mice in here. There's so much poop. So I'm gonna soon after just talking about it, I have to get my mask on before we do anything. But I wanna talk about a couple interesting aspects of this truck. Literally everything is red besides the steering wheel and the cluster. The doors are red, the dash is red, the carpet was red, the seats are red, up top's red, it's all red. So that's pretty interesting. Back then in '77, they definitely didn't have a lot of creature comforts in trucks like these. This one was lucky enough to receive radio, heat, and cooling. That's about it, besides the four-wheel drive system that's in here. But a really interesting aspect that I don't think I've ever seen and didn't know about is the fuel tank that's back here. Now this truck has 2 fuel tanks. So there's one right back here and then there's another one all the way in the back of the truck. I'm not exactly sure why they did stuff like that and didn't make one large tank. If you know, put it down in the comments below. I'd love to learn more. Anyways, it's time for me to get my mask on and start cleaning this carpet up.
Now for the door cards, we actually took them off the car because we had a PDR guy come out and take those dents out of the doors, which we didn't end up getting footage of because you couldn't actually see it on camera. But because of that, we were able to clean the door cards off of the doors, which made them a lot easier to clean actually, and then put them back on the truck.
So trying to get the glove box open, and I see that we're gonna have a surprise in there. This button seems to be frozen, so I'm gonna use a little bit of this deep penetrating oil to hopefully free it up in there and get this button to, move. Come on. I feel like the button's not supposed to point up like that. Oh, I think I got it. Ready? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. I have to spray these hinges out. It's a little tight, but it's a little corroded. No wonder I couldn't get it open. Wow. Now I know why I wasn't opening. Dude, this is huge. This is the whole glove box. Oh my God.
Oh. That is huge. Well, let's clean that out right now before we go any further. Now for the seat, this was super satisfying for me personally because it's clear that mice have been walking all over it for the last 35 years. So first I vacuumed it and then I took a tornador to blow out any extra dust or anything that's been sitting embedded in it. And then I extracted the fabric on the inside and used Puro to clean up the leather around it, and it made a night and day difference.
We mentioned this on the last Corvette video as well, but when we flip over the seat, that's how we kind of have a pretty good inclination that this truck rather, only has the 17,000 miles that's actually on the odometer. If this was 117, there'd be a lot more butt grease in there. There at least would be a butt dent.
Yeah. And now we're gonna extract the carpets, and luckily the owner actually put rugs down back in the 70s. I guess there weren't floor mats for this truck, so he went out to some store and he bought red rugs and put them down on the floor, and it actually protected the carpet. And then lastly, before moving back to finish the exterior, we're gonna clean all the windows and put the ozone machine inside of the truck so we can kill all the bacteria and get rid of the smell.
All right, the truck is washed, decontaminated, and clay barred, so we're ready to start polishing. And of course, I'm gonna take a look at the paint first to see what I'm working with. And we just see a ton of oxidation. There's some of this dripping. I'm not sure what caused that. Something in the barn must have spilled on it, and unfortunately, that is gonna be damaged beyond repair, at least from a detailing perspective. But, well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I've already polished the majority of the truck, and you can see the contrast right there from, you know, polished to unpolished. But it's fun working on trucks like these or vehicles like these where patina kind of goes along with the style of the truck. I think it actually looks really, really cool on an old farm truck, especially if you saw this driving down the street. You know that this truck has done some work. It's, it worked on a farm, or at least that's the aesthetic from it. And from a polishing perspective, I don't have to try too hard or worry too much about making the paint perfect, because that's not attainable with the pitting on the side of the doors and the bed. So it ends up being a pretty easy job overall, and the goal is just to remove some of that oxidation, bring back the depth and the color, and make her shine a bit.
Now we're gonna do some chrome polishing. When I first saw this rusted out circle on the right side, I thought maybe I could use some rust remover and see if letting it sit long enough would help me remove all that rust, but it ended up being a spot that used to be painted, and over time it just ruined the entire piece, so that's something that would have to be redone completely. But the rest of the bumper I think came out really, really nice.
The truck is all finished. Thankfully, because I'm absolutely exhausted, it's been a very long week getting this truck in this shape. So we're about to load it up in the trailer and get ready to take it back to the owner. Now it's time to get back to part 2 of the Corvette saga. So we'll give you a little sneak preview of what's to come. The 1978 25th anniversary pace car. Here's your first hint. This is dealer plastic that's still on there. We're not going to show you everything on the odometer, but we're going to show you a digit because we think this might be one of the lowest, if not the lowest, 1978 Corvette in the world.